Hey, what's going on YouTube? So today I'm gonna be switching over my chemical addition pumps that treat my well water for my chicken houses. So the way that it's set up right now is whenever my well pump kicks on, it sends power out of this wire right here, and then this was connected there, and these pumps come on and you can adjust the flow rate of how much you want them to inject into your water. And then when your pump turns off, it cuts the power coming out, so then these pumps shut off. So later down the road, I actually gonna set them up different to where they work off a flow meter instead of turning on and off with the well pump. So the reason they're like this is because the farm was like this when I bought it, but it works. It's like the redneck way of doing it, but I honestly don't like it. I don't think it's that efficient. But this is what we have for now, so we're gonna work with it. So I'm gonna hook them up to run off well number 1. So last week I actually had my pump for my well 1 went out, and I had to call the well guys to come in and actually pull out my well, replace the wire, replace 2 sections of pipe, and put a new pump in. So you can see this is all the wire that they pulled out. So this one, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but there was a few splices in it already. You can see where they had pulled it out before, and since they had it out, I told them I might as well replace it. It wasn't cheap, but I think in the long run it's going to be worth it. This right here is an old pump that come out of there. I really never have dealt with wells before until I bought this farm, but my well wasn't building up pressure. It would hit about 30 psi and the pump would keep running and running and running. So I went ahead and called them in because I knew something was wrong. And these are the pipes that they pulled out right here. There's a section of pipe that was cracked. You can see right here where the coupling's at. I really don't know what caused it. The well guys don't know either. The only thing that we could think of is that this well did not have any torque arresters. So maybe when the pump was kicking on, it was putting too much torque on this and hitting that pipe, making it flex, hitting against that casing. But anyways, they got her fixed now. They pulled it out. Everything's good now, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch my chemical pumps back over to this well instead of my other well. So now to get the pumps hooked up to your starter on your well, so they can come on and off whenever it kicks on, I'm gonna take this cover off right here. So this is a 5-horse starter for a 5-horse pump. So I don't know if all of them are the same, but for this situation, that's how mine is set up. So the first thing you want to do is make sure there's no power to your starter, because you don't want to get shocked. So my breaker's off right there. And then make sure that your capacitors are discharged. So mine has been off for several days now, so sure it should be discharged. So now the next thing you want to do is get you a wire. I got me a 12 gauge 3-strand wire that I hooked up. Made me a wire kind of like this one over here that was previously on here before. So now I'm going to run my wire through the bottom of here. And then I'm going to put my hot wire right off the end of this contact, and I'm going to hook up my ground and neutral wire down here. Alright, so that's basically pretty much it right there. And this is how this other one is set up right here, so I'll show you guys real quick. Alright, as you can see, this one's got the same deal. It's got that wire coming out from the bottom, and it's got the neutral and the ground hooked up over here, and then it's got the power going off the contact at T1. So if you have the same setup, this is how you would get it set up. The benefits of having it set up like this is that you can treat your well water. If you guys have poultry and you're not treating your well water, I think you're really missing out. So you want to maintain a good pH, and you want to make sure that there's no harmful bacteria in the water that's hurting your poultry. So I use Agri-Hawk, and I also use sodium hypochlorite, which is a bleach. It's like a more of a commercial grade bleach than what you would get at Walmart. But anyway, so every time my pump kicks on, which this is the one that it used to be off of, but since this well went down for a week or two, I had to switch over that wire over this one, which this pump right here runs my cooling pads. So, but the thing is, I got them set up in case one of them goes down. One well can actually supply water for the cooling pads and the chickens. Now since I got it fixed, I want to separate them back out again to where one of my wells is for my cooling pads and the other well is specifically for the poultry drinking water. So this is how mine is set up. So you got this one right here is the bleach, and this is where it gets injected in, and then this line right here is acid. So this is where my Agri-Hawk goes in, and this is what controls the pH in the water. So if you're doing this, just make sure that you never ever inject bleach and acid kind of like they're set up here. So if you inject bleach in one and acid in the other, you're more than likely going to blow this pipe apart. So just make sure that you never inject them side to side like this. If you have them going in kind of like teed off, like so if you were to have another injector in here, it would be alright as long as there's water moving through there. But you never want to inject them in the same spot. If you can spread it out, it's even better, because you know acid is a bit, or acid is an acid, and caustic, or shoot, what am I trying to say? Acid is acidic, and bleach is a high pH. So when those two react, they put off a lot of heat, and like I said, this pipe can blow apart. So just make sure that you never do it like this. The only reason mine is set up like that is because both of these pumps are injecting the same type of acid in here, so that's not going to cause anything. But if you're injecting like an acid here or some other chemical on the other side, you want to make sure that they're not going to react with each other and cause problems for you. But anyway, so that's how it pretty much is set up. So I just gotta hook up my my lead down there to my little three-way up here, and then like I said, every time my well kicks on, these pumps turn on. And these are Stenner pumps, so these you can order them offline, or most poultry stores will have them. And you know, this is probably, most farms nowadays are doing this. So this is just how mine is set up right now. But like I said, down the road, I'm actually going to switch it over to a flow meter setup, and I want to rearrange all these pipes so it can be a little bit cleaner, because as you can tell, I guess it's a mess in here, and that really drives my OCD a little bit. But once I have more time, maybe next summer, I'll get all this set up how I want it. And I actually want to take those pumps and mount them over here on this side right here. That way I got more room down here at the bottom to do my chemicals and stuff, instead of walking back here. And then the other thing that I don't like is that if sometimes these little rubber hoses in there, which is what sucks the chemical in, this is like the pump basically, sometimes those will bust. So if you don't catch it in time, the pump will run and run, and you're spraying chemical out. You don't want to have it near your electrical, because this stuff is really corrosive, especially the bleach. So that's kind of why I want to move this somewhere else where it's not, if it does leak, it's not going to damage anything. And of course, you really don't want to get it on your starter for your pumps, because that's just going to be a bad day. Anyways, that's it for today.